Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Immersion Diversion with Pokemon PTU. Um, Sorry, I gotta fix this. There we go, because two of our players are not here today. Well, one of us is, but they're just helping with Zoom stuff. So, Sean is currently in the middle of moving, and I wish him luck. He will be back next week for sure, along with Edward. So, we're gonna have a full group next week. That'll be fun. Anyway, hi River, how you doing?
Hi. Have a
Hello.
little bit of. Oh, there we go. Now it's not sounding as choppy. I'm doing good. Well,
That's
not
good.
well. I am doing good. Just very, very tired.
Yeah, same here. So today, what we're gonna do is because before I get into what we're doing, um, like I said, I'm Immersion Diversion, and we're playing PTU. This is Pokemon Space Odyssey. We're doing a space campaign for Pokemon. I'm over here. And we're playing it on Fantasy Grounds, our medium of our play of game, our VTT of choice. Um, so it doesn't have like Pokemon Tabletop isn't actually on Fantasy Grounds, but we're using Fantasy Grounds for combat tracker. We're using the Fantasy Grounds for dice rolling, initiative. Well, combat tracker would be the initiative, maps and stuff too, so we can have a way to see where everyone is on the map. Um, uh, do I have? I think I've got a thing for Fantasy Grounds, right? Yeah, I do. Okay, I had to make sure I do that. Music. And also music slash Sirenscape. All the music that's provided to us is by we got Blitzit, Sanity, and the Zame on YouTube. Music. If you want to go check out their stuff, the links are right there. They make cool Pokemon remixes as well as remixes from other games, such as, or at least Sanity does a bunch from like Mario Kart, Plants vs Zombies. You know, I've taken a look at her stuff and they're pretty cool. Um, uh, Sanity does, or Zame does some stuff from Mega Man as well, which I might end up throwing some Mega Man music in here at some point because it's very sci-fi, at least for like Mega Man X or stuff like that. So maybe I'll throw them. But most of the stuff I'll be using is their Pokemon remixes. Thank you guys again so much for letting me play your music in the stream. Um, and then Sirenscape allows me to um, Sirenscape. There we go. Sirenscape allows me to import the music samples that I have to be able to play them through that. So that is something I'm also helpful or glad. Although Sirenscape does assist with it has its own music that it puts in there, so we can always grab stuff from D&D, grab stuff from Pathfinder, Starfinder. They have a bunch of soundtracks in there that we can use that. But I like to import my own because it allows me to play from there as well. And yeah, after that, yeah, and then we got the players. Um, Sorry, I'm still learning how to do all this. So, like I said, two of the players are not here today. Robert and Gizmo. Robert is a animus from Dimebos, which is a shared planet of Dimebos and Luchabos. Basically, the fighting type planet. They have been war with each other, but in that sense, Robert has decided to leave and become a teacher at Animo, a space station of knowledge and learning, essentially a space museum. And along with him, his faithful companion, Gizmo, a far-fetched, Cubone far-fetched fossil that he managed to find and revive. It has become his mascot. He never keeps in the Pokeball because basically it keeps the attention of the students as well. But yeah, Gizmo is really cool. I like him a lot. Yeah, like I said, he's a combo between a Farfetch'd and a Cubone. And so we'll see what kind of alien Pokemon it evolves into eventually. Next up, we got Echo and Navi. River, why don't you tell us about Echo and Navi?
I'm just gonna get a short description.
No problem.
Echo is as of
Oh.
right now, just a normal android, but in terms of actual campaign, uh, Echo is a musician, chef, hex maniac combo. That's a
Ooh.
bit of a mouthful, and trying to seek their purpose and whatnot. But as of his backstory, they are just waking up, brand new world, fresh out of a pod.
Yeah.
Eventually finding Navi, who's a special type of routes, a ghost fairy, I
It's a
believe.
ghost fairy, I think. Fairy ghost?
Yeah, ghost fairy.
Yeah.
And I just looked at that again. I'm like,
Navi is an alien Pokemon from Pofomia, the planet we're going to be on today.
yeah. Surprisingly, I looked into the lore of a little bit in terms of
Hmm.
routes, and finding routes is really rare.
Hmm.
So I hit the jackpot. Woo!
But yeah. And then, last but not least, we got Adolfin and Luthu. Adolfin is a elf from Zyzipso, a psychic type planet, which actually more resembles that of a comet, with a back trail kind of leading with other planets kind of in its wake. Um, you could essentially, well, he left home because he didn't agree with family choices, I believe. I'll let him talk about that more when we get to his backstory stuff. But Adolfin has left home to try and explore the expanses of the universe and see what he has learned from his books, to see if he can find that in real life, and kind of experience it for himself. Along the way, he found Luthu. I think Luthu was actually a gift from his parents or a gift from his dad. He'll have to bring that up later on. But he has obtained Luthu as a means of friendship, and so he's never actually kept Luthu in a Pokeball. Luthu is entirely still wild, as well as a friend to Adolfin. Um, so let's do Adolfin. There we go. Um, but yeah, with that, oh, I need to after that. Oh, freaking! I always forget to do that too. Ah, channel points. I gotta go change them. Well, while I'm changing them, I can talk about them. Guys, you can use your channel points to change the how the game goes and stuff. Basically, you can use them to give combat stage upgrades, which changes our players' stats. You can give the players capture roll bonuses or minuses if you'd like, which helps them catch their next Pokemon. There's Guardian Insight, which makes it so that if a player has no idea what's happening and they want to figure something out, the chat can give them an insight to figure out what might happen or what they might need to do. RCS Intervention, the intervention basically is the reroll. If you'd like to give our players a reroll, you can spend an Arceus intervention, and have that happen. The Pocket Pokemon Center, it heals a Pokemon to full HP, even if they're down. It's like a Pokemon Center, except it only works on one Pokemon, and it's any one of their Pokemon in their party at the time. You can change the typing of a wild Pokemon. If there's a Pokemon that you like let's say Snorlax, if he's a normal type, you can make him a bug type. I don't know. Or you can add a type in certain cases, maybe. And then there's also a magic box where you can give the players items if they want from their uh, items. You know, basically, like I give a certain amount of Poke, and they can choose from up to that or less. Or I can make an item that I feel like would be a cool, interesting item for them to have, either depending on what's happening in the area. Like last item that was donated was It was a like chat was talking about a bullshit finder, like a lie detector. But instead of a lie detector, I was like, you know what? Let's do the item finder. So we ended up giving Adolphin an item finder, and that was the last item donated from the magic box. Um, and if you'd like, you can also donate monetary rewards if you'd like to. Tip, where was it? Tip TTRPG. There we go. If you'd like to, you don't have to, but it always helps. The amount gets split between the players that are currently on that stream. And yeah, so if you'd like to, you can donate $1, which gives consumable items, so like a couple of Pokeballs, a couple of potions here and there, kind of stuff like that. Just stuff that they can use, like a potion and whatnot. $5, you can donate a hero point or a jinx point. Hero points and jinx points are used for rerolls. I can cancel their points if they want, or if I wanted, but I'm not usually gonna do that. That's too mean. The players can use theirs to give them a +10 to their capture roll if they're close to, but failing still in capturing. And we also just recently decided that you can use those hero points to basically get a free false swipe on any move that you have. So if you'd like to catch a Pokemon, you could cut it down to 1 HP and then catch it with a Pokeball with the max results, as you would for using false swipe. Or in the same case, I get a Jinx point, which I can use against the players doing the exact same thing. I can re-roll. They can also use the hero points to commission a idea that they've got, and usually I'll do it because usually they sound pretty cool. For 10 points, you can donate a plot twist or a flashback or hero cards. Plot twist changed the story up. You have to use it during that stream, which could change up the game a little bit. Flashbacks are cards that might give our character a reminder of something they might have had remembered and forgot in the past, so they could maybe remember that they had something. Maybe they remembered knowledge that they forgot. Or hero cards, which give our players a one-time ability that they can hang on to use whenever they'd like. We'll try to convert those over to PTU for use on their moves and stuff like that. But yeah, $15, you can donate a critical token, which is exactly that, a critical hit. Critical hitting with a Pokeball throw makes it so that they get a +10 on their capture roll, so even better chance to capture a Pokemon. For $20, it creates a random encounter. Anything that they're doing at the time, even if it's a conversation, Pokemon will just show up, and they'll have to deal with that. $25, you can do a creature buff, which is, Pokemon gets stronger, Pokemon gains a new typing, maybe a couple of typings, because that seems like that'd be something good for that instead of just one type, like with the wild Pokemon change type. Maybe a $25 will do like 1 or 2 typings, and then maybe an extra move or something. For $30, you can donate a magic item. This will be a much stronger magic item than the magic item that they would get from the channel points. But it's something we create together. Something that that'll be pretty strong. And then if you'd like to, for $50, I do a one-mention secret menu item, which changes the story dramatically, but it changes it so dramatically that it exists into the future. And so it goes into that. So unlike the magic item box, or the magic box, where they get an item that'll help them either right then and there or into the future, the secret menu item could give them stuff that'll last into the future. Like, it just kind of depends on what I decide for that one. And so for the secret menu item today, during this backstory stream, Echo will meet someone that I originally wasn't planning on having them meet. And they will get some special bonuses that can bring them to the future, like a new power. So, yeah, they'll meet someone that gives them a new power and options into said more of that power in the future. So, and that, I guess I do have to mention what the person is. The person will actually be the legendary of this planet. So if we hit that secret menu item, Echo will actually, in part of the backstory, meet up with or have an encounter with the legendary.
Oh,
Yeah,
lovely. Is it going to be Darker Eye?
we'll find out. So,
Shit.
without any less to do, thank you guys again in the future for any tips you do donate. Let's get started with a recap. Last time, in the Pokemon Space Odyssey, the players had finally shown up to Galea and decided to take their own. They ended up getting their own ship. They took this ship with Idolphin was very lenient, and not lenient, but like he was very skeptic of the whole situation because he was like, free ship, what the hell? But nonetheless, they did get a free ship with some upgrades that they got to keep. They ended up flying. We'll get through the recap. Thank you, School AI. They ended up flying over to a dwarven fishing village where they decided to go into a cave to try and find some gems, but realizing that they would probably get lost very quick, they needed to get a guide. So going back... oh, I did forget to turn it on here. I will turn that back on. But thank you. I'll get to that. Going back to the village, they found out who they needed to talk to. But the person they needed to talk to had just come running back from the caves. Sorry, I'm not thinking about that. They had just come back through the caves and ran into Adolphin with a swarm of bats being chased by them. But before we get to that, we're gonna take a little trip back to where we first find Echo in space. We find floating out in space, just a single pod with a sleeping Echo, or should I say non-activated.
Non-activated, yeah. It's
Yeah.
not really sleeping. It's more or less until someone press a big red button, then
Anyway.
something magical would happen.
But now that we're past the recap, thank you, School AI, for the secret menu item donation. We will get to that today for sure. So that'll definitely happen. Anyway. Oh, and then I gotta turn on the thing, yeah. My bad. I forgot I turned that off because there were so many of them. I should have turned it back on right after it was done, but where is it? It's called alerts for a reason. What the heck? There it is. Pokemon alert box. There we go. Alright, it is back on. Anyway, so as we see this pod just kind of floating through space, from the distance, we see a little black cloth coming to float up to it, and notices, a body, just sitting in there. So this, what we call a Reaper, has grabbed onto the ship, kind of using its scythe to kind of latch onto it and grab onto something. And then he slowly drifts away and pulls this pod along with him to a planet called Paphomia. And I will bring that image up right now because I forgot. I gotta show you what it looks like. Where is it? Ghost. There it is. So, on the horizon, before we even get there, we see this planet. It's very translucent. Well, excuse me. But yes, nonetheless, it just looks like a giant bubble in the sky. But then, as we get past, it slowly starts going towards it, and we get past the outer atmosphere. Oops. There we go. It then slowly turns into this. And that's way too big.
It's too big.
Yep. Hang on. Transform. Fit the screen. There we go. It is a planet that looks... It's basically a skull planet. A planet entirely made of skull. There is some dirt here and there, but it's a skull in the sky, in the atmosphere, or in the universe, which is kind of floating there. And we find ourselves going to the back. How do I do this? Yeah, the back cranium right there. As this pod and this Reaper get drifted in and float down. The Reaper kind of brings it down. With his mysteriousness, the pod actually doesn't crash in. It's got the same weight as the Reaper does, as he kind of drops it to the ground, and he floats over and presses the button, opens the hatch, and he goes to go grab you. But then you wake up.
Like it to like if I remember correctly, on Echo's eyes is like that like purplish.
Yeah, you had
Let me
like
check your
purple eyes.
reports real quick.
Yep, you had purple eyes. Yep.
Purple eyes, so it'll be like glowing, indicates Android, of course, but like suddenly like two eyes just went.
And
like,
as your eyes...
It like flickers for a moment. Hold on, I gotta
Oh, good.
move my cough drop to the side a little bit.
As
Like
yeah.
it opens and it flickers for a moment before it goes, and it looks straight at the Reaper.
Yeah, as soon as your eyes actually opened up, while you're focusing still, you actually now see what looks like a black cloth kind of floating, flying away pretty quickly. You seem to have startled whatever it was.
Kind of leans up from the pod. The original attire of Echo. Brain, come on, I know you're tired. You can push it a little bit. The original attire is a simple jumpsuit. One of them jumpsuits.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, now Echo has like a $60 outfit that you could buy from Space Walmart.
Space Walmart. That's awesome.
Something like that, and just a really tight fit jumpsuit, one would say.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of spacesuits. Kind of just leans up to seam position, wings their legs, and it gets up and looks around.
As you look
Hella
around,
confused.
yeah, you look around at your surroundings, and you see a very, very shadowy, dark planet filled with graves. There's just graves surrounding you. You kind of look up towards the sky, and you see it almost look like a moon surrounded by fog and clouds. It's just kind of a moonlit landscape.
Kind of looks back at the pod, looks at everything else.
As you look at the pod, you see what we previously described, that you saw the letters GI on the side of the pod. Yeah.
GI, I remember that. I remember that fondly. Kind of looks at the pod, then turns back around, looks at everything else. Still confused where they are and how in the world they ended up in this place
Hmm.
with no memory besides just waking up not even a minute ago. And takes a closer look at the, I guess, like grave, gravestones. That's what it is, gravestones.
There seems to be graves as far as the eye can see. Um, do you, if you'd like, you can roll a perception check to see how far you can actually see. But
Don't get your hopes up.
it won't be hard.
I have
Yeah,
a
that's fine.
6.
So yeah, as you kind of look around, even behind, you can see that the ship was placed meticulously in a spot that wouldn't harm any of the other graves. But from behind you, all around you, there just seems to be graves. You know, like you don't see much on the hills from back behind. Like it maybe seems to be like some hilly areas, but it's almost at the edge of the horizon kind of thing. This almost seems to be like a flat canvas, just filled with gravestones. But as you look to these graves, you can see that they have names on them. Um, and from your bank, some are famous, some are not, some are just mainly. It seems to be that the all of these are mostly um, ship like people who have died out in space.
Space casualties.
Yes. In fact, here and
Kinda.
there, you actually do see like, not specifically in this area, but there seems to be like a almost like a like if you were to like you could kind of you have a little bit of a sensor for what the planet area around you is, and from where your perception takes you, you can actually on your scanner find that there are more pods just like yours in like a congealed area.
Making their way towards those pods.
All right. So as you get out of the ship and make your way, you kind of um, some of these tombstones you pass, some of them are eroded, and you kind of make your way to the pod, like a pod junkyard kind of thing. And there just seems to be piles and piles of them. Some of them taken apart. Um, some of them look like they're in boxes, like parts boxes with parts in them and stuff like that.
I assume none of them have the symbol of GI on them.
Yeah, none of them have GI. These actually,
Or,
these actually more look like actual ejection coffins.
uh,
Yours kind of
extraction
looked more like
pods,
a
pretty much.
yeah. Yours is a pod, but it's not a ejection pod for corpses, like where they just kind of shoot them out into space. Yours is actually like, or yours kind of looks like that, but it's more designed to fit your robotiness as your android self.
Yeah, that's understandable.
None of these seem to have cords in the cockpit or anything, or if they did, they've been taken out.
Understandable.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
What'd you like to do?
Seeing that these pods are not even the same thing, kind of. I guess while they are just looking, there's
Mm-hmm.
also like simulated data of emotions that Echo doesn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like conflicted feelings, confusion. What's the other word? Curiosity will be one, because,
Mm-hmm.
you know, waking up on some graveyard planet, and a little bit of defeated that there's no others of the same symbol.
Yeah. Seeing that there was no GI on the symbols of these pods leaves you a little not dumbfounded. I was trying to find a better word. Well, like you said, confused.
Downtrodden.
Yeah, downtrodden. Thank you. As you look around, I will say there are like you do manage to see like other like because you go back and you remember that thing floating away from you when you woke up. Although it did fly away, you think you might be able to find him.
Guess try to find that floaty, spooky figure.
All right. As you leave the junkyard, you keep a memory as to where this your original pod was, just in case you ever come back here later. And you head off towards the direction that you saw the floating sheet go. Roll me a. You know what? Yeah, roll me a survival check. I want to still do some rolls and stuff here, so.
That
Okay.
4.
Even though you have a scanned area of what is around here, some of the tombs kind of, some of the gravestones kind of evade your sight, and you end up sort of tripping on some of them, which dings you up a little bit, but nothing too serious. And as you kind of fall to the ground, kind of on your back, you see some of these. You see some more of these black sheets kind of float overhead, like about 100 feet. They just kind of fly towards the same direction that one was going.
Yes, follow the same direction.
All right, and because you've found more of the, because you hadn't seen the one guy before, that's why I had to roll the survival. Now that you have seen these, you can actually follow them to what almost looks like. It's like a house. It almost looks like a mansion.
Oh,
Like-
spooky.
Yeah. And you can see some of these sheets kind of fly in through some of the windows. There seems to be a front gate inside of with a yard, you know, almost like some playgroundy equipment in the front of this mansion. There's like a rocking chair that seems to constantly be moving back and forth.
Spooky. I can't sing that. Get copyright. Fuck.
Spooky scatter skeletons.
Shit.
What is it you do? You see this house?
Reluctantly open the front gate if it's unlocked.
You go to the front gate and you can tell it's kind of no one, because everyone seems to be able to just float in. They haven't used the gate in a while, so the gate is actually kind of broken open. You can actually swing it open if you'd like.
I gently swing it open.
Yeah. All right. As you swing the gate open, it goes, and you hear like you all of a sudden hear whispers.
Looks around.
And there
Confused.
seems to be a reaper floating behind you.
Looking at the Reaper with the most flattest of expressions.
He's just staring at you. This open hole is just nothing there. In fact, what you see is actually this right here. I guess it's not in Fantasy Grounds, but if you can see my stream on the image and
Yeah,
zoom,
I see it.
yeah. In fact, I'll blow it up a bit. So you see this with a
It's
lantern
covering
sitting behind
my
you.
eyes, got me.
Actually, this one doesn't have a lantern, but that is what you see. He seems
It's a
to
spooky
be,
factor.
yeah. What is it you do? He's just floating there, floating right in front of you.
After a moment or two
Mm-hmm.
of an impromptu staring contest, Echo kind of just more or less just went up to their neck and just fiddled with their neck a little bit.
With Echo's neck or with the Reaper's neck?
Neck, their
Your
own
neck.
neck.
Okay, yeah.
Neck. Yeah, fiddles with their own neck because voice box is it's not enabled. It's just
Oh, you can't talk right now. Okay.
yeah, I can't talk. So
The Reaper just sticks his hand out towards the house and just points.
stops for a moment. Still fiddles with it still, but stops for a moment. Then clicks it and goes, testing, testing, hello. Go, you want me to go to house?
You just hear a as he points to the house again. And then he floats away.
Turns back at the house and just, without fear, walk towards it. Even though, not without fear, it's a bit of an understatement. Unknown emotions of reluctance.
Yeah. As you go towards the house, you hear the whispers again, but this time there's no one seems to be around you. And this time you hear, come in, come in, come in, come in. Seems to be calling you towards the house.
Goes towards my house and I assume the door is closed or open or what?
I mean, it's closed, but you can easily open it and get inside. So
Yeah, open it, get inside.
okay. As you step up the wooden stairs, they are creaking. They haven't been repaired in quite a while. But not enough to where you can't walk up them. It's more like if they were used but not repaired, they would be hard to walk up and might break. But because they haven't been used, but they're just old. You can get up easy. You just hear creaks and squeaks.
It's just one of them steps where you go to one of your grandparents' house and they have this one or two steps that creaks really loudly and can stink.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah, I understand.
As you walk up the stairs and head towards the door, when you put your hand on the door handle, the chair that's on the porch that was swinging back and forth stops moving.
Turns to the chair, turns to the door, both having unknown emotions of concerned, fear, and a little bit of confusion in the mix. Of course, Echo can't understand this, but the body tenses up.
Mm-hmm.
And goes to proceed to open the door.
Alright. As you... with a little bit of fear and tense in your body, you slowly open the door and it creaks just like the stairs did. But it does open and you're able to go inside if you'd like.
inside because
Yeah.
nothing.
As you walk inside, you see a set of doors on the bottom floor. There seems to be two set of doors on each wall, and two in the back, and then a staircase of two staircases kind of going up to the top, which seems to be like a balcony up at the top as well. And you hear the voices. Come here. You're welcome. And they seem to be coming from upstairs.
Hesitantly walking up the stairs.
Alright. As you start walking forward, and you get, as soon as you put a step on the, as soon as you step on the staircase, the door behind you, the front door, just kind of slams shut.
Well, this isn't good. I hope this is not a simulation or a simulated prank.
And then you hear the voices. Come here. We have much to talk about.
Goes upstairs with heavy reluctance.
As you go upstairs, and you go and open the door to the room, when you open it, or do you open it?
Yeah, open it because
Yeah. As
why
you open
not?
the door, you see, essentially, it looks like a giant ballroom. And up above at the top, there seems to be a myriad of these reapers that you saw before just swarming at the ceiling. Just kind of, it almost looks like they're dancing, but they're just flying in a circle. And that's the first thing that catches your eye when you come in, because it seems it's the only thing that's moving quickly. But at the same time, looking down, because after seeing that, you kind of get a grasp of the room, and in the center of the ballroom, dancing by themselves, seems to be what almost looks like a doll. A doll dressed in white and black.
You're looking for an image, aren't you?
I am. Alright. Whoops. But at the same time, it's a little hard to tell what, what she looks like because she's just dancing. What do you wish to do?
More or less hesitantly walking forward, but a little bit more slow to their step.
As soon as you walk on the dance floor, she kind of stops dancing and she turns to you and says, "Join me, won't you?" And you see a lady with an umbrella it almost looks like, I guess she was dancing with an umbrella kind of unfurled. So like she was dancing with the reapers up above, but on her own.
I assume when she said that, I assumed that meant come dance or come talk.
Yeah, come dance.
I don't have exactly I don't have any programming regarding to dancing in my memory.
Do not worry. As she kind of essentially whispers in your ear from there again. Allow me to lead. As she starts walking towards you.
At this point in time, Echo just seizes their circuits and just allow this being walking towards them.
She gets close, and you can see um, she's got pale white skin. She's wearing a white mask that covers her face. But if you roll me a perception check, really quick, not hard.
Have a 5.
It's a little hard to tell. Behind the mask, in the eye sockets, it almost looks like you can't really see her eyes. It's just shadows. And she sticks out a hand.
I assume to grab it, so Echo looks at the hand, looks at the after person, looks at the hand and oh, I disconnected.
Oh, it's fine. You don't need to
Yeah,
roll for
and
that.
reaches out to grab it.
She, as you reluctantly reach out your hand, she kind of closes the distance and pulls you towards her, and you start dancing. As you start spinning around the ballroom in the almost what feels like wind from these circling reapers. You can almost call it an ominous wind. She just says, we don't get a lot of visitors around here. Who are you?
I am Echo.
Echo, what a fine name.
Well, I am an android.
Ah, that makes sense. We don't see a lot of fine looking androids around here.
I was in my designated pod for unknown amount of time.
Interesting. Your pod, one of our reapers mentioned that your pod didn't look the same as the others. Are you sticking around?
Unfortunately, I might not be able to get out of this place.
You could see she seems to be exuding a certain amount of charm. And you're kind of falling for it. Unless you want to make a charm check to try and beat her charm.
I don't think I'm able to beat that, regardless of that.
Well, if you roll, here's a 4.
6.
Yeah, so if you roll 4 6s, or 3 6s even.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like,
it's weird with all the feelings you've been feeling today, like confusion, distances, sadness, anger, I don't know, whatever you've been feeling. You feel flattered or flustered. If you want to. I'm not telling you what you should feel, but you can feel that she seems to be giving off a positive aura kind of thing. Like it doesn't feel like she's threatening. I guess
Ominous. Sure. I'll rock with that. Like, as soon as those charming words come out of her mouth and these new feelings start appearing in Echo's mind, still have that flat expression, but there was this one arch eyebrow of confusion of what they're feeling, not towards the lady in white, black and white, essentially. I'll probably be stuck here for a rather significant amount of time.
We can do our best to help you. I don't know how
What
long
are
it'll take, but we can try. We have plenty of parts. We can try to make you a ship. Or try to at least contact someone. We don't normally call people here ourselves.
I have very little knowledge on where I am at.
This planet is known as Paphomia. It is where we gather souls of the lost. Folks that die out in space, we bring their souls back here, and then we bury their bodies.
Again, that eyebrow just arches up even more, mentioning souls and whatnot. Like, this is just pure foreign gibberish.
You'll you'll come to understand it soon. However, because you are not dead nor have a soul, we cannot take either. So you are free to do as you wish.
Oh, um, well,
But it's
I
interesting.
see.
It almost feels like you have a soul, even though you don't. Because androids don't have souls. As she just smiles
Well,
at you.
most of the androids, well, I say most, almost all androids are incapable of feeling, but I am conflicted.
Conflicted. That's pretty interesting.
Yes.
Well, feel free to use this place as your home. Temporary home if you'd like.
Well, I wouldn't mind to intrude such a place, but for now, thank you.
You're very welcome. The name's Janice. Janice Genesis. You can call me.
Nice to meet you, Genesis.
Janice will be fine. And she
Janice.
kind of twirls you away. And as she twirls away, she twirls into a what almost feels like a Reaper flies by her randomly as the Reapers kind of drop and start swarming you guys like bats. And then she's gone, and the Reapers go back up top and fly out of the building. And then you hear a whisper, "We shall meet again."
Massive confusion on how the fuck this happened. I see. Now confused of what to do.
That's funny.
You know how like you just place a child in like a bunch of toys and they just don't know what to do?
Mm-hmm.
That's what Essential Echo's doing. She doesn't know what to do. And so Echo kind of just stood there for an ungodly amount of time before deciding to explore.
What essentially feels like seconds for you, I think a year actually went by. And no one's been here since then. Because I remember you telling me you were at this planet for 50 years.
Oh yeah, 50 years.
So some of these waiting moments that you do might actually be that long until we get to somewhere. So, what is it you think that you wish to do after a year of waiting?
After a year long of confusion and just trying to sort themselves out, Echo decides to explore the mansion a little bit.
Okay. As you explore the mansion, um, I mean, it's, you find essentially, like there's master bedrooms, there's bathrooms, there's everything you would find in a mansion, but it almost seems deserted. Like no one's been living here. In fact, if you go when you go down the stairs sound a little creakier than they did when you first walked up them.
Because Echo kind of stood there confused for an entire year.
But yes, there's like a kitchen, there's a dining room, there's like a theater room, but nothing seems to be working. Roll me a perception. No, roll me a focus check.
Focus is going to be a...
It's a 3d6, I think, right? You said focus was?
Yeah, 3d6.
Alright.
I have a 16.
You all of a sudden, in your mind, you hear something. But it doesn't phase you because you realize after being here that this has become a little bit normal. But this, I mean, to you it felt like seconds. So it might not necessarily be normal to you, but you hear, are you okay? In your head.
Looks around.
Only perception check.
2d6, my friend.
In fact, I'm gonna roll a stealth. That's not that high. Sorry.
It's definitely gonna beat it. Yeah.
Yep. You don't happen to see anything, but you can definitely hear what sounds like tiny footprints in the room you're in, and you seem to be in the what would essentially be the it's like a bedroom. It's one of the small bedrooms with probably a little crib in it.
Oh, that's depressing.
Are you okay?
I am confused. I stood at that ball place for an entire year trying to figure out what to do next.
I know, I kept watch over you. Roll me another perception check, but this one's a lot easier. And she's not, and I'm just gonna roll one dice for this. Oh, great. Okay.
Watch. Okay.
Yeah, okay. From behind one of the bookshelves, there seems to be something hiding behind it, but there's like a little hand kind of grabbing the front of the bookshelf, and it almost looks like a little pink bump is sticking out from behind it.
Look straight at the unknown individual. Well, I kind of landed here unexpectedly through a pod. Met with a certain individual named Janice.
Oh, Janice. I know Janice.
Who is she?
She's our caretaker. And then she kind of sticks her head out a little more, and you see a tiny black and pink individual.
Oh, I see. This Janice didn't really offer much of information, but...
Because you're still new here. I mean, we can go find her again. If you'd like.
I prefer not to bother with her. I am more focused on what to do next. As I sat in that ballroom for an entire year trying to figure out What am I supposed to do?
Well, would you like some help? You seem to not really
Sure.
know your way around. I mean, there's a lot I haven't explored yet still, but I'm always willing to help someone such as yourself.
Sure.
Okay. And this little figure pops out from behind the dresser and walks up to you, and um, with a new purpose to being able to help, she seems a little excited, and she hugs your leg. Um, and it's a little tiny Ralts.
Oh.
It's a black and
Oh.
pink and purple spear, like front finned Ralts with white skin.
Oh. Uh.
I'm sorry, I'm new. And then she like looks up to you and goes, Ralts. I'm not new, but you know, you don't see your mouth moving.
Oh. Uh. What are you?
I'm a Ralts. I'm a Ralts from Pifomia.
Oh. Gonna roll a quick Pokemon check on that one.
Okay.
Have a 6.
Your database knows what a Ralts is. I mean, but you've never seen a Ralts like this before.
Oh. You must be very special, one would say, as
Hmm?
my database is indicating that you are supposed to be different.
What are you talking about? I'm just a Ralts. I mean, there aren't a lot of us around here, but you do know about the existence of your database would know about the existence of like spatial alien Pokemon, but because there's so many, there's not a lot of them are marked. This would be one that's not entirely marked because it is from a planet no one really goes to. So
Well, Miss Routes, since you are willing to help this confused artificial life, shall we go exploring and see?
artificial, but it feels like you have
Yes.
emotions and stuff. That's how I was able to find you.
So these are what these emulations I am experiencing.
Yeah, they're called emotions. That's what I tend to. I mean, we tend to find people who have high positive emotion, I think. Because negative emotions tend to hurt us a little bit more. I got a little nervous because for a little while you were exuding a little negative energy, but I see. Maybe I thought maybe I could help you.
I see. Well, I guess you could help me in a number of ways.
Oops. There's one place we could go to if you have questions. We're and
Where
then
would that be?
there's no. We don't have a map of this place, but we're currently in the graveyards. There's a place called the Canyon Temple.
Do you know where that is?
I mean, we could ask around, but I mean, I'm sure the Reapers around here know.
I see. We shall ask one of the Reapers for help then.
All right. And as you guys head outside to look for one of the said Reapers, there after a year, there are a lot more Reapers than you have seen when you first showed up. Almost the sky almost looks like a. It looks kind of like, at least in the graveyard, at least above the graveyard, it almost looks like a. You know those banners that planes pull behind them? There seems to be one of those kind of almost like a ribbon in the snake, like a ribbon snake floating through the sky. But you can definitely tell they're like, almost looks like bats. And you'd be like, there's some up there, but we won't be able to reach those because they're too far away. But it seems like they're doing their job, so I don't want to interrupt them anyways.
We shall find one that's not currently busy.
Hang on, I might be able to... No, they're too far away. Sorry. Alright. But yes, they're usually found in the graveyard, so... Want to help? I can help you search.
That would be preferable.
Okay, so roll me a perception check, and because she is helping you, roll 2 more dice with that.
Okay. So 46.
So it'd be 46,
then, right?
Yep.
I have a 15, my
15,
friend.
nice. Yes, you could definitely see Reapers coming from space that almost look like they're bringing a soul with them, almost like in their like a little blue orb in their bony fingers, carrying them down to Earth, to the planet Paphomia, and they kind of one by one they kind of float down to the ground to a tombstone, and then with their finger kind of start etching into the stone as if their finger was a knife, and carving away the name of the soul that they got, and then they shove the soul into the ground, and it almost like spreads across the ground in a rectangular shape. They don't seem to. It almost looks like they're not. It's like, because in your databanks you know about like crypts and coffins and stuff like that, but you've never seen souls just put into the ground. So that is definitely very interesting.
Very interesting indeed.
And yeah, you managed to find one that's nearby as it drops, and it does the same thing. It drops next to you into a by a tomb, starts etching a name, and then you drop it into the ground, or they drop it into the ground, and it looks like they're about to take off.
Excuse me, Mr. Reaper.
They kind of pause before it looks like it's floating away, and then he pauses, and he turns to you and floats down to your face.
Very quick question. What was that place again?
It's called the Canyon Temple. The reason I call it a temple is actually because it's located on this Temple of the Skull.
Oh.
Yeah. And he actually proceeds to tell you that if that's what you wish to know. And this one actually talks. He kind of pulls his hood back a little bit to show he's got a skeleton body frame. And it's a little raspy, but he says, head for the temple. Head for the temple. And he points to his skull as he points to his temple.
Again, confusion.
And then he points to the direction where you want to go, seeing your confusion. And then he just, as he's floating away, he says, follow the cracks.
With that information now in their databanks, looks at after routes and says, well, Let's go to that direction then. We got a journey ahead of us.
Yep. Roll me another perception check with 2 more d6. As you both are searching for the cracks that they mentioned. Easy
Yeah,
enough.
how about 12?
It takes probably about... It's interesting because since you're walking this distance, it actually takes about 2 days before you find the cracks he's talking about. But as an android, you don't really need to sleep. Dang. Hope it went okay, Schooly Eye. Yeah, we just found out where to go. Well, not found out where to go, but Echo and Navi are currently heading towards a temple that Navi said they might be able to go find more information at. So, yeah, with that, it takes you about 2 days to walk, and Navi... Navi, kind of, as she sits on your shoulder, kind of leans against your head and trying to sleep, so...
Oh
so
yeah,
she
because
kinda...
androids, they don't need to sleep. They get like
So as you
near
either...
infinite
Yeah,
amount of distance unless battery gets low, then they need to recharge
Yeah.
a few hours, but
mhm,
that's easy enough anyway.
yeah. So every day you at least take like an hour or two to give yourself a recharge. I will say it works almost like like the Elven, was it their meditation where they only sleep for 4 hours?
Trance.
Trance, yeah. I will say it works kind of like a trance, but in this case, the androids actually decrease that by half again. So yeah, 2 hours compared to the 4 hours that elves would need, or other races that can trance as well. So, you only take about 2 hours to rest, but as your 2 hours finished, you would get up, kind of carry Navi with you. Well, at this point, still known as Relts, but and you make your way towards the temple. You find the cracks that you were told to mention. It's weird because these cracks, they look like inside of them, like as you kind of move along the cracks, it turns almost into like a ravine, and you can't actually see the bottom. They're filled with a green fog.
What is that green fog?
I don't know. I've never been down there. It feels painful though.
Oh, then caution must be advised then.
Yeah, and as you avoid try and avoid falling into the crevice, you make your way into the temple, or towards the temple. There seems to be, you can see a giant, like the house you were in before was big, but this temple, it looks like a sky tower. If you remember, what's the better? It looks like the, you know the towers in Gold and Silver in Johto, the burnt towers and the rainbow tower. With
You're asking really old
Oh.
information, my friend.
Did you play in Johto? There was a burnt tower that contained the 3 legendary dogs, or cats. I
Oh
forgot if
yeah,
they're dogs or
okay,
cats.
yeah.
Kind of those like a pagoda kind of temple.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Alright,
But-
alright.
It's essentially sitting on what looks like a floating rock sitting on top of the fog, and out from 3 different directions, connecting to the different cranial connections, because it almost looks like it's like a 1, 2, 3 kind of connection to the temple of the skull. And out from 3 different directions, there are 3 different bridges, all wooden, and a little bit of mossy too, like a mossy wooden bridge.
Looking at them bridges and looks at Navi, I don't think these bridges are safe, one would say.
here, I'll try my best to hold them together while you cross. And so like she kind of gets off and she uses her telekinesis to
Oh yeah, I
essentially
forgot. Route. I forgot Routes has. Yeah,
telekinesis.
telekinetic.
Yeah, telekinetic. Relts holds each board together. And she says, "I can only really do about 3 at a time right now. Would you be able to hold me while I keep him held together as we move along?"
Yes.
Thank you. As you pick her up or put her on your shoulder or whatever you do, she kind of holds her head, and you see a blue light kind of surround the each plank, and it's like they go by 3. So just as you, and simple enough as long as you keep your footing, which I won't make you roll for, because she's holding them together. She's slowly, one by one, as the ones disappear from behind you, you make your way across the bridge. And you can definitely tell that, even holding them together, they're kind of creaky and stuff, because the moss that's growing in them is slowly making them separate. But they also, at the same time, seem stable. Especially with Navi helping, or the Relts. You make your way across, and you get to the bottom of this pagoda temple. There seems to be, it's like almost like a 50-foot staircase up to then what would be like a sliding doorway. And each level has like that hook, kind of pagoda going up to yours. It's really high. It's like a 100-foot tower. Or no, it'd be like a 200-foot tower. This thing is huge. 200 floors. Or 100 floors. Each thing is 10 feet. I don't know. Something like that. It's a big place.
See.
Yeah, sorry. It's just... Now let me get rid of Janice up here. And
Get her in the trash can.
Yeah, she's out of the trash can. You hear another voice, but this one isn't Janice. Who dares to see the temple?
I have questions because I am very confused.
Come. I will help you with these questions. And the doors slide open slowly, welcoming you in.
Looks at routes for reassurance.
Ralts! And then you hear in your head, I think she's helped me in the past. She helped me find you.
Alright, let's go in.
As soon as you step on the stairs, you feel an overwhelming power.
Oh, wonderful.
It doesn't feel great because it's almost like it's like it's something to be feared. Roll me a focus check.
Okay. At least I got that.
7?
7.
Yeah, this is rattling. This is spooky. You don't know if you want to come in, but
indeed.
it is a welcoming spook.
Very spooky indeed. Gathering enough
In fact, yeah.
gathering enough courage within themselves. Trying to take a step at a time.
Okay. As you get closer and closer to the door, this pressure that you're feeling, this uneasiness pressure, It's getting bigger and bigger. Like, the pressure is becoming greater and greater.
Keeps going.
Okay. You get through the doors, and the inside of this building is laced with, like, cloth. It's like all black and white cloth, like with white patterns on them. And it's just, like, you can't really see any walls, but there's hanging, almost like hanging tapestry, like hanging scarves and stuff like that, just everywhere. And when you walk in, some of them seem to shudder, even though there's no wind.
I see. Very spooky indeed.
Roll me an acrobatics check.
Ugh.
Or an athletics, I guess.
Oh, Athletics is a no-go, my friend. 4.
You and Ralts immediately are wrapped up in a scarf that came out from one of the tapestries. Just kind of grabs you, almost like a spider web, just sticking to you and grabbing you, and you get yanked up the center. Like, there are stairways. There were stairways up the side, but this thing yanks you up into, like, essentially what almost looks like an endless hole into the skyway, and you reach the ceiling, and you're just hanging upside down, you and Ralts. And then, as you're spinning there, as you kind of spin and turn around from the force that's just, you know, like turning you a little bit, you just see inside of the tapestry. You see a face with a little witch hat. Welcome to my humble abode. You don't see a face moving, by the way, or like a mouth, but there seems to be a smile.
Hello, unidentified person.
Your sensor is going off. This is no person. This is a Pokemon.
Oh, my apologies.
It's okay. Why, you're interesting. She kind of pulls you in closer, and her eyes, once you meet eye to eye, the inside of her eyes almost look like spider webs themselves.
This Pokemon all it sees is just, even though the Echo's not really displaying any emotion, just like this flat expression just stays there 24/7.
It says, "It's a little dark in here. Let's see if I can't get some light to shine." And then from one of the tapestries out comes a lantern with a little, like, scarf hand grabbing it and pulling it in closer. And it almost looks like the, and you've seen one of these before, it looks like the frame of a lampant. But there's no it's not a Pokemon, it's just a lantern thing.
Oh.
What is your questions?
Well.
I might be able to help you.
Well, I do have a question about, well, it looks at Navi. Well, routes tend to focus on positive emotions from living organ. Oh. Well, yeah.
Ralts doesn't have as much focus as you did. Well, maybe they might. Here, let me see. I forgot what their role is. Actually, I think it'd be lower than that because they're first stage Pokemon, so... Oh yeah, they're out.
It's a 3d6, actually.
Oh, it is? Okay, I'll roll them more then.
Yeah, Routes has a 3d6.
9. she's conscious, but she's like not fully there. It was the same situation from, well, like, she didn't bring it up to you before, but yeah, she has met this Pokemon before. The same thing before, but she was still able to get her answers answered. So, how may I help you? As you feel the shudder in the scarf that's holding you, as the rest in the building just a little bit, almost like wind chimes,
Uh,
but there's no chimes. It's just shuddering of a scarf, a shuffling scarf.
well, uh, as you can see from the unconventional friendship with this route, apparently apparently she could sense emotions within me.
Ah,
I
that's
am
right. I asked her to help look for you. As her eyes get wider. I
for
sensed you as soon as you showed up on the planet. I didn't think you'd be arriving here so soon. To the
you
temple.
you anticipated my unconventional arrival.
Oh, yes. As soon as you arrived to the planet, I've been able to feel you ever since.
Forgive me, but that is, well, what living organisms say is, what do they say?
Improbable?
Maybe.
I don't know. Well, other living organisms don't have as much power as I do.
uh, but I am artificial life form. I'm not supposed to have a soul nor emotion, yet I feel these things and I'm confused.
Which is why I'm interested in you. Very much so.
Oh, I see. I'm not sure how to respond to that as this is still very new and I don't have any other logs within before my arrival here.
We can never help. We can attempt to help you with that. It shouldn't be too difficult to reach a mind outside of Paphomia to come and get you. Although one has to be traveling nearby in the first place. But we can make it work. However, I'm gonna need your help with something first.
What would that be?
This could take a while. I need you I need you to go to the maw cavity.
And where would that be?
The front of the skull. The maw, as her mouth opens up and kind of engulfs you. And then disappears. And then when she almost what it looks like eats you, her body disappears as well as all of the scarves that were holding you, and you just plummet before another set of scarves catch you in on almost like a spider web. And then she just comes floating down from above through another scarf and kind of floats around you almost like a scarf weaving a basket, or like a weave in a basket. She says, I need you to go check up on my other self.
Your other self?
Yes. Janice.
Oh, I have met her before, approximately a year prior.
Yes, so Janice, I can exude my power through Janice. If you help me go find her, I will do the same for you. In fact, here, let me prove it. And then she kind of takes the lantern from before, and when you didn't see it from earlier, like it just came out of nowhere next to you, and it almost flashes and blinds you. And then you wake up on the floor, and she's nowhere to be seen.
This is. I was like staring at the ceiling, goes, in my short lifespan, I did not expect this at all.
And then you hear in your voice, in your head, I know Janice is fine. Because I can still sense her. I just need her. And I could talk to her just as easily. But I know you have questions for her just as much as you have for me. And
So
now that
I
we're
need
connected,
to find-
and now that we're connected, I can answer as many questions as you'd ever like.
I see. Kind of sits up, stands up. Then my first question is, what is my purpose?
Your purpose?
I am supposed to be. All androids are built for a purpose, yet there is no directive in my systems.
You see, out of the walls starts to drape more of those, uh, more of those scarves you've seen before, and this time they almost, instead of shuddering, they kind of weave in between each other, like they kind of connect, and then the black and the white scarves kind of connect and weave in with each other, almost to create a symbol. And then the symbol turns purple as she casts Future Sight. Not in the damaging Future Sight, more or less, she is trying to find out what your purpose is. And all she says is, your purpose is to find purpose.
Wait.
Your
cryptic
purpose-
If I may say so myself.
Your purpose is just to be. Just to exist. Take this little one with you. As a Pokeball just shows up out of nowhere.
Oh, I see.
She would be a great help. Essentially, she said she can ask. You can ask as many questions as you'd like, but in this sense, I will allow 2 more questions. They can't be the same question, obviously. Basically, she, as your purpose to find purpose, is your purpose is to find out who you are by just existing for now. She doesn't. She would say, I can't be fully specific because it wouldn't be as entertaining for me to watch you then. But nonetheless, I will help you as much as I can when I deem that you need help.
See.
And then you get 2 more questions. So you can write somewhere in your notes that you have a connection to Lamperini. It's basically a combination of Hatterene and a Lampent. And this is the legendary Pokemon of Pithomia.
Oh,
Or one of the
wonderful.
legendaries. This is just the one of many.
I'll probably write down questions in my note thing.
Okay. So yeah,
Once
just
I
write down
think
that
of them.
you're just connected to a Hatterene. For now, we can do that too, so.
I wonder what minor blessings and major blessings that she may get.
Yeah, you get 2 more questions. If told. Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
But what's up?
Oh, Schoolie has a question.
Uh,
I will say, this isn't something that is a major or minor gift that you'll be getting. I will decide on that, and it will be just kind of something that I will be using for you. And the moment it's used by me, you'll be able to use it yourself whenever. But you learn the move Flash.
Flash. What does Flash do?
It's the accuracy draining move. Basically, she gave you the first little gift that you get is basically you can activate this from your body as an android because of your sight stuff, you know. So this isn't a major gift. She just basically unlocked something that your body can do. So you can blind people essentially.
I just imagine those purplish eyes just glow and
like flash
sun
giant purple,
white, like a quick
whitish purple
flashbang.
Yeah, basically, yeah, that.
Quick flashbang.
And you would gain the same amount of, I think if it's an at will, it's the same frequency. You just gain that as an android race bonus. That is your first android race bonus kind of thing.
Okay, I got you. You. Next question.
Actually, you know what? The first minor gift, I'll have to actually figure out what it does. But the first minor gift that you have is actually a lantern. It looks exactly the same that she has. It was just on the ground next to you.
Oh. A lantern. Oh.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what's used for.
Alright, what is it you wish to do now? Oh yeah, you were asked to go to the maw cavity.
Yes. Also, I was about to ask another question.
Yeah, oh yeah, sorry, you get 2 more questions, that's right.
So, if I am able to feel and experience emotions, why am I able to feel these things even though I am programmed not to, or at least not built around it?
This one I'm actually going to roll a D100.
79. Would be funny if it was 69. Funny number.
As to that, this time you also hear this in your head. You are of a different make. A different brand, if you would.
Essentially,
you are new.
Life form.
You are a first of many.
There are more of me out there.
Yes, indeed.
Oh. Interesting.
The last question, as you hear like a bass in your head.
I'll think of the last question later. For now, adventure woo, to find Janice. Woo.
All right.
I'll ask the last question later. I'll
Okay.
try to find Janice.
And you can ask this question at any time. Remember, I'm always connected.
I understand.
I am always connected. And then you feel a ominous wind kind of blow the doors open. Like it's a gentle breeze, but behind you, the sliding doors that were open start slamming open and shut really quickly before they almost open really quick and then break, so they can't close anymore. And now they're just shuddering, trying to close, but they won't close. And there's a wind that pointing it. You can feel this wind is guiding you to your next destination. This wind is pointing you towards the maw cavity.
Goes. Now let's go towards the maw cavity.
Yeah, this one takes a little bit longer than the distance you were at before. You actually make your way through. It's a another cavern. Because this one was the canyon temple. So you go through this canyon, going across once again the almost broken bridge of wood and moss and stuff, and as Raltz holds them together once again, and you guys cross, you see the wind seems to be guiding you into like a cave, and if you keep going, because if you're just trying to make your way there, the wind brings you through a place called the Cavern Abyss. It's basically a giant cavern, super open. Lots of ways to get lost because there's almost a magical darkness here, or just a darkness of shadow here that still, even though you can't see, because some of the wind brings you through those dark spots in the shadows, you make your way through, and you can see like here and there, you can see like eyes like glowing in the dark where there shouldn't be light, but they don't seem to be coming after you. They seem to be kind of almost like falling away from the wind, but you can definitely see these eyes in the darkness as they kind of shuffle away, and you hear
That isn't reassuring.
but nonetheless you seem to be okay as you make your way through the abyss and come out essentially what would be the nostril, the bone part of nostril, and it leads down to the mouth. And when you reach the maw cavity, it's like there's been dirt and stuff all over the skeleton, but as soon as you reach the mouth, where the lips kind of stop, because it essentially be like the dirt is where the skin would be. Now you see these rocks that are just jutting out from the side of this wall, the giant white rocks. Almost cracking a bit, but held together a lot better than most of the stuff you've seen around here.
Oh, definitely.
And then you feel the wind just kind of drift between the two rocks. Some of them, there's like holes here and there, but you see the wind kind of go, and you feel it going into the rock.
Carefully goes into the rock, 'cause where else Echo would go.
Yep. So as you kind of enter a hole, there's almost like stepways you can step on here. You know, it's almost like, it's weird because once you reach past the center, your your body tells you that what you're walking on now is calcium.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
I love my
It's
daily calcium.
it is very hard, like harder than stone, harder than even your own body, like the metal that you have. You don't feel the need to break it, that it's going to break at all. But as you enter as you enter the hole, and it actually leads up the root of what would essentially be a root of a tooth to lead you more
Okay.
into the bone. That leads you to a safer spot where you can traverse throughout the mouth cavity.
Okay.
And yeah, and when you reach an open room, the wind goes away. And you see Janice. Kind of almost, it's weird. It's like she's hammering away at something and tinkering. You hear a tink tink, chick chick chick. There's like a workshop here. She seems to be
It's
making
his
something.
eyebrow.
I see you've made it.
Indeed, I have.
Lamp Terrain was telling me you were coming. She knew what I was doing. I don't know why she'd send you here. Maybe I can help. I did tell you that I would help maybe again, or that we'd at least see each other again someday. I was not expecting it to be so soon, though.
Well, has been nearly a year since I remained confused and confuzzled in that ballroom, trying to figure out what am I supposed to do.
Oh, yeah. Well, then she's gonna make another charm. That's a pretty low roll for that. But she turns around, stops what she's doing, and she kind of walks up to you. She's like, I will say I did miss you, though.
Can I counter charm that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Aha!
16.
Nice. So what kind of charm did you want to do? Did you want to try the creepy charm that you were talking about before, or the just a regular kind of charm?
Oh, that creepy. Like, after what, a year and whatnot, but spacesuit. You know how like clothing decays over time?
Mm-hmm.
Since
So
this
there's
is
kind of like holes in your shirt and stuff.
pretty much.
Yeah.
And due to being like 4'10", I forgot that I have that labeled. God, Echo is short. Kind of just.
Oh, she's actually taller than you then.
Oh,
I think.
definitely.
I just double checked that. How tall did I make her?
Funny thing is, I did not first decide
Hey,
on.
she's 5'4". She's taller than you.
Yeah, by like several inches. Yeah, fun fact, I did not pick 4'10". I just went between 4'10" all the way to 6'3" on the generator. So
Oh, yeah?
Immediately went 4'10".
Nice.
I was like, alright.
Alright. So, as you exude
Sure.
your creepiness to try and charm her, to counter charm her, she kind of backs up a bit. Still smiling, but she's like, I can see why she chose you.
I don't understand. Tilted.
You're an android, you said, are you not?
That I am. of the Echo series.
And they
Apparently, one of many.
that's right. She did bring that up. Or no, I forgot. She told you that. She wouldn't have told her that because that was for information to you. She's like, oh, I see. And then, but because you have emotions is why these two Pokemon have found you, is it not?
Apparently.
Ralts is the Pokemon of emotions. She usually likes to sense the good intentions of people or help those who have a negative outlook on things for a little while. And Lamparine, well, she's um a version of a more powerful version of Hatterene, you could say. She's another. Basically, she goes to say that so legendary Pokemon that I will have in my games, there are the legendary Pokemon that are in Pokemon still, like those will be existing still, but I will have some Pokemon that are just regular Pokemon that have legendary stats. And she brings up that Hatterene is one of the variants of, or this is a variant essentially of the Hatterene, but this one being here was able to gain more power.
Oh,
because
you mean Hatterene?
Yeah, Hatterene.
Oh, damn, Hatterene is one of my wish list Pokemon.
Yeah. So Hatterene so Hatterene has it's like, so essentially what Gardevoir does when she wants is like, she not attracted to people with better emotions, but more like she likes to hang around people with good emotions because it gives her a good vibe kind of sense. Hatterene likes to hang around people with good emotions and or bad emotions as well, because she tends to eat those emotions.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so Hatterene is all about sucking the emotions out of people with good emotions. So there have been so many good emotions from all these souls that have been showing up here. So because she's connected to the planet, she gained her legendary status by gaining enough emotions to gain that much power. Yeah, so
Oh,
yeah.
how wonderful.
Yeah, so she brings up the fact that, you know, this is a Hatterene, but this one's just a much, much, much stronger one. And it's also kind of essentially, been made into something else with the help of the planet. So, oh shoot, sorry, my alarm went off.
Oh,
But yeah. Anyway, I wish to help you. I was making some stuff over here, and I guess we can talk through lamp what is her name? I gotta remember it. Lamparine. Instead of Hatterene, it's Lamparine because she's got the lamp. But basically, we can't talk to each other through her, but she could talk to us. So she knew where I was. I want to help you get off this planet. But I was waiting for you to show up again.
oh.
Yeah.
But you did said that you were expecting me to find you way later.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Lamparine's interest took hold first. So she is the legendary of this place, and I am her guardian. So which makes me essentially the caretaker of this planet. There are others like me, and I can get in contact with them. However, it might take them a while to get here because one, you still haven't fully explored this planet, and I want you to stay here with me for a little while. After all, there's so much more
See,
to learn about you. She kind of puts her finger on your chest.
I see. Well, there isn't much to learn about me besides these
Oh,
simulations of emotions
well, that's where we
experiencing.
start. We find something you like to do. We find something you like to enjoy. What do you think you'd like to do first?
Apparently, one of my directives will be technology.
Well, you can try and tinker with those ships you found before.
I guess I'll give it a shot. Then, then I have another directive of cooking. Apparently,
Cooking. A
apparently
cooker.
so.
Hmm. Well, we
Then,
don't have a lot of food here on this place, but you're free to try and find some.
trying to move. Then the last two are stuff about the occult and medicine.
Hmm. Well, you could definitely find out about a lot of medicine here and occult stuff. In fact, there's so many bodies to examine. She kind of smiles at you.
Oh,
Not
I
just live
see.
ones. Not like that. More like she meant it as you can examine dead bodies to find out how they died. Um,
Yeah,
but
I knew what you
yeah, yeah,
meant.
yeah. But
I knew
the
what you
first
meant.
time when she did say that, she did mean that like you could explore hers with another charm that she's gonna try on you. Ah, there we go.
I'm not gonna beat that.
Tell you what,
I
I
can't.
will count it as a critical success if you can roll all sixes. That is something
What now?
I will do. If you roll all sixes on all your dice, I consider that a critical hit or critical success kind of thing.
Sure.
If you want to try.
Sure. Give it a try. All right. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Figured.
Wasn't your charm 46? If you wanted to counter charm
Oh
again,
yeah. One
go
more.
ahead and re-roll.
Well, it's
I
not
would
gonna make a difference for
I would
sure.
say yeah, it's fine. So yeah, you sense her coming on to you.
But Android, the android, does not understand.
Yeah, although yeah, the emotions you're feeling though are not understanding it, but it is like being flustered again, kind of thing. Because you have the feelings in you, you just don't know what they mean.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Anyway, she's like, we can figure that out later, and she turns around and goes back to the table. She's like, hey, is there anything you want me to make for you?
Well, apparently I have a thing for music in my directives. A guitar would suffice.
Nah, that sounds
That's
fun.
where her origins of the guitar came
Yeah,
from. I just made that up on the spot.
I was hoping you bring that up. So I was like, yeah. So yeah, she goes, and this takes a while, and over the course of you exploring your talents, finding out stuff you'd like to do. You said you were here for, I would say, this might take a portion of the rest of the time said you were here. So this would be like probably the 50 years then. You're trying to figure out your stuff. So even though you've been here 50 years, you haven't been able to level up because that's all during the game. But yes, you managed to. You know what? I know what the lantern does that you got.
What does it do?
So this minor gift that you got, or I should really look it up. Hang on. Or I want to give you a move that you have to use the lantern. So if you don't have the lantern on you, you can't use it. So you don't necessarily have to put it on your thing. But I'm still gonna look it up just really quick, just to make sure. Because it's on the Blessed of the Damned.
Oh, it's a blessing of the damn thing.
Yeah. Since this is an item, this is something from the signer. It's like a packed gift. So, yeah, essentially, this is another option that I'm giving you. It's not something you can choose. I will just give you stuff from it over time. But is the class called Signer.
Oh.
Yeah. It says, where the touched give themselves changed by their Patreon, signers act more on behalf of a deity. Powers they gain more are channeled through them than controlled themselves. As such, they are not always as readily available as those of others. So basically, yeah, she's using her powers through you. So you might not always be able to use them.
Okay, I got you.
And rank 1 is signer, you have permission, but you can choose a rank 1 blessing. What is a rank 1 blessing? Sorry. Trying to decide on this quick before I... hang on. Whoops. Oh, Sean left. Whoops. Uh-oh. Well, maybe I can... If I... Oop. No. Sorry guys. I'm trying to re-find Echo. For now.
What's up?
Oh, because Sean left the chat, so... his thing, yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll do that for now.
Oh, I'm both Robert and Adel. Oh, now I'm Robert.
Yeah, let's do that for now, so we can at least see you. Then I'll undo it. There we go. Just for now. I was trying to do something, and then I think Sean left at that point, so... Rank 1... Oh, maybe just blessing.
So would this consume my class slot?
No. This is just something I'm giving you. Just write it down in like notes that you have your rank 1 blessing is the lantern.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep.
Cool. I was
No,
about
you're
to
fine.
say, oh man.
Oh, here's blessing. Oh wait, no, yeah, what? I should do this later. You know, yeah, we'll do this later. So I can find out where the blessings actually are and stuff. So yeah, we'll do that later. Anyway. Yeah, so. But you will get something via the lantern. I was thinking about giving you Dazzling Gleam. But I'll have to be sure that is something I can give you later. So for now we'll just say you still have the lantern. And I will come up with something later. Maybe either after stream or something. But yes, so during the 50 years of you being at this place, you would use this time to find out what your talents are, find out what you're interested in, and she does end up making you a guitar. Although it does take her a little bit to find the materials. This is why, you know, the 50 years has gone by also. You end up learning that she is what's known as a world champion. Because of her fondness for you, she tells you exactly what her role as a as a protector means. She is a what's called world champion. Someone who battled. Basically, there are a bunch of champions in the world. Like if you think about Pokemon, there's Red is a champion, Blue was a champion. There's Silver, Gold, Max. Or not Max. Brandon, what was his name? I don't remember. But all the champions throughout the games, including Cynthia, Diantha from the Gen 4 and Gen 6, and also I guess Irene. What was her name in Gen 5? I don't remember. But yeah, but all of them did a competition to battle, and the winner became the world champion. The world champion is tasked with protecting the planet. And then, all of the world champions battled to see who became the galaxy champion. And the galaxy champion is known as Danny Starlight. Yeah. And he is the one that he is from Zayazipso, so Adolfin will actually have known of that guy too. Because they don't really hide anything on the Zayazipso either, so. But yeah, so there is a champion per planet. But as Janice as the ghost type champion. And her team, she actually can tell you what her team is. Her team consisted of a Gothitelle. And if you ever do battles with them, they will battle you with a different team. Same team, but they'll be like earlier leveled, like pre-evolution stuff. But when I wrote them in the character sheet, I just put in their full form so I'd know what they would end up using. So they have a Gothitelle, a Chandelure, I think I did a ghost type added Shinotic. If you remember the mushroom from Gen 7? There's Morlul and then Shinotic. Yep. She has one of them, but it has the ghost type added to it. She's got an Indeedee female. Just a normal one. Okay. She's got a Houndstone.
Okay.
And she's got a Hisuian Typhlosion.
Oh yeah, the
ghost.
Typhlosion.
Typhlosion is Fire Ghost and Hisuian in Arceus. So basically, what I did was because I tried typing Typhlosion Hisuian, it didn't want to work. So I just did Typhlosion normally, and then I just gave it the ghost type. So, yeah. Oh, and her Gothitelle also has ghost type added to it. So, yeah.
Damn, Ghost Dark. Ooh,
Ghost Dark. Yep. But yeah.
That's a bit of a nasty combo.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. So, with that, you've learned a bit about technology. You've learned some more about music and cooking. Although the stuff you find here isn't really widely used for cooking because it's all either rotted or dead already. Well, I mean, obviously stuff are dead, but like you can get bone marrow, you can get stuff like that. But a lot of the stuff here is it's mainly dirt, dead grass, or live grass, but stuff like that. So, but yeah, you get taught a little bit some more about cooking. So you also learn that on this place, there's the graveyard, there's the Canyon Temple, the Cavern Abyss, and the Mog Cavity is where you have visited to go to that from one place to the other. There are 3 other spots, and I might add more later, but there's not all right there. But underneath underneath the skull, kind of where the spine connects, that is called the grim.
Oh,
Um,
what a lovely name.
Back in the back spot of the cranium, right down here, it's called the cranial undersea. You could essentially say that's essentially the astral sea. It's kind of a void area down there. And at the back, right here, at the back end of the sea, is called the Sea of the Damned.
I see.
It's a spot where, oh, actually I could pull it up here too so they can see. My bad. Right, where's the planets? There's the planets. Ghost. Okay. So, right under, I'll show you in here. So, right under where the eye is on the mouth, that's the mouth is where the cavity maw, or the maw cavity is. And then to the left and a little down, kind of where the jaw ends, or, yeah, I guess on there, where the jaw ends and kind of the spine starts, that's the grim. And then further back here, is the cranial undersea, and then all the way back here is the Sea of the Damned. And then I'm thinking about putting some stuff up here at the top, but I haven't added that yet, so. But that's what you know so far about everywhere on the planet.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so, she ends up, you end up becoming friends with her, if you wish. You are both connected to Lamprene. Although Lamprene hasn't said anything to you since you met that one time. In fact, if you go back to the temple to try and find her, she's not there. She doesn't show herself to you anymore. You haven't really asked the question you've been wanting to ask because you thought about it and you said you'd kind of save it for later, to ask later, to think about. But the later has been 50 years. And you haven't really been able to think about the question you wanted. But you do remember in the back of your head.
I was about to ask, like, somewhere in between.
Yeah, you can ask it anytime. Like she said, that question is for you to answer whenever. But 50 years has passed while you were trying to figure out the stuff you might like to do.
Gotcha. Guess that question would be, if you could hear me, since it's been quite a long time, once I find my purpose, should I keep going down the route of my purpose or continue to find purpose within life?
You must continue down the path. For it helps you more than you think. In fact, you'll learn a lot more than what you wish to know when you find your purpose.
I guess this is
Including
what they
who built
call.
you.
I guess this is what humanoids try to find their purpose within this world, within their worlds with a limited lifespan.
Indeed. Now that you've asked your last question, you are able to ask more in the future. Hang on, let me see if this is an okay song, I guess. Yeah. You are able to ask more in the future, and I may be able to help if you need my help. However, I will not be constantly helping you because, well, what fun would it be to just sit by and do all the work for you, right? So,
That is quite understandable.
I
You
have,
are quite kind to me
yeah,
since I stepped here on day one.
oh, thank you. So, I have a question for you now. What would
What
you
is
like to
that
do?
question?
What would you like to do? And how would you like to go about doing it?
I guess first things first, find the reason why I am created without a purpose.
In order to do that, you must leave the planet first and head for Britannia.
General education. General education. I gotta love that 1d6
Yeah,
general education. I have to rely
you
on
have
Adel and Robert.
you've never heard of Britannia, or you've heard of Britannia, but you don't know where it is. You know it's a planet.
I have heard of its well, it is stored in my databanks, but it's very limited information.
All right. I will have Janice try and call someone in, and then I will try and get them to show up, and they will help you get off this planet to go to Britannia. I'll be able to help you in the future if you can help me with some stuff. Just like before. You helped me find
I
Janice,
understand.
even though I knew where she was. You went there for me in any case. So if you help me, I'll help you.
I understand. However, I will make sure not to ask help too often, as well, it'll make it seem like I'm using your generosity a little too much.
You too kind. Thank you. However, feel free to call on me if you need anything. Because I'd hate to see my little toy break apart, right?
Boy,
She cuts off. Is everything
that's
alright? And Janice says to you,
mm, would a android be considered a toy?
I don't necessarily think so. Why did Lamprine say something? She does tend to get
Something like that.
She just does tend to get a little mixed up sometimes with all those emotions that she sucked up. But yes,
I
you are absolutely right. They are not considered toys.
understandable.
She said the same thing to me when I was here. She never called me a toy. She's called me a doll, and well, I mean, and you can kind of tell over the years you have found out that she is still a reaper of some sort, like the others. But because of her influence with Lamprine, she has been turned into like a doll, almost like a porcelain doll, kind of. But she still has the features of a reaper. She just has more skin and more features than those of the actual reapers. But she still has the black cloak that they have over them. It just looks nicer. There's more form to her.
I got you. I got
Yep.
you.
And then she goes to hug you.
Just this awkward one arm hug.
No, she full on embraces you. In fact,
Oh, god damn it, another
well,
charm.
sorry, it rolled one more than I wanted it to. Because it froze and I was like, eh. Yeah, I mean, 16.
I could beat it, maybe. Oh, I
Whoa!
beat it.
Damn. Yeah, you kind of just counter the hell out of that, and she gets that creepiness feeling from before, and she kind of gets away from you, but she smiles, and she's like, Janice just, she kind of says her own name by accident. Lamprey just can't contact me that she said you wanted help getting off the planet now.
Apparently, yes, I do want to learn why am I created. After that, I would have. After that, I guess I'll continue searching what purpose remains.
Of course, I get it. You can kind of sense that she's a little upset. Um, and she kind of walks away, and she takes out what looks to be like some kind of phone or watch. Somewhat similar to yours, but yours is kind of built in to your arm. She has one that's just on her wrist, and she makes a call.
I see.
Yeah. And then she gets off the phone and she comes back. She says, "There, I called someone. They'll try to help. They'll try to get someone to come by, and then we'll get them to come by and get you."
Thank you for all your help, Janice.
Yeah, of course. May we meet again. And then she walks away.
I'll come visit whenever I finish of searching for why am I created from time to time.
You better. And then God damn it! No. There. My bad. Ah. And so she walks away, and you get another voice in your head. This time again, it's from Raltz. She's like, "I don't think she looked too happy. You think she'll be all right?"
I think she'll be alright.
Oh, and this time, I think at this point you would have actually given her a name. So this time it's actually Navi, because she's like your Pokemon. Okay. So yeah, Navi says that to you, and yeah, I think she really liked
What do
you.
you mean by that, Navi?
I think I sense she kind of liked you actually. But
I do not understand.
well, you'll understand one day. It'll be part of your experience. And she just smiles at you. Part of your purpose, finding out whatever. I don't know. I mean, I hit a button by accident. But yeah. She basically just, yeah, she says, I don't know. I just think she might have liked you.
I still do not understand.
Yeah, you'll find others, and those will they will probably teach you. I'm here to help you along. And then she kind of hugs your leg again this time. But this time you've kind of gotten used to her hugging your leg just because she's done it so often, and it's actually quite comforting. You feel a new emotion that you felt during this 50 years. It's comfort, something you never really felt from anyone.
Kind of just kneels down and pats Navi's head. But first time in her 50 years, just a little smile kind of just
Mm,
peeked out.
yay! All right. Um, short and then after a couple days, you hear a voice in your head, and the voice says, "Are you ready?"
I am ready as I ever been.
All right, here we go. And all of a sudden, you see what looks to be like spaceship headlights, kind of floating down, and it kind of lands on the planet almost like fairly quickly. It's like it kind of almost looks like it speeds in, and then irk stops, and then but doesn't irk in the air because it's obviously just air, but it just kind of flies in and just kind of like just kind of hovers down, and the back opens, and you can see when it opens the back door, there's a driver there, and this looks like those like Amazon Prime cars, those vehicles. It's like one of those vehicles were just flying by the planet, and it's just came here and dropped down. And then when he opens the door and he comes out, you see a familiar scarf kind of draped over his shoulder and his neck, and then you see the eyes, the same spiderweb pattern that was through the that was in the Lamparine's eyes, and she just says, "Next stop, Britannia," and bows to you.
Yeah. And gets on aboard.
Yeah, as the door shuts behind you and flies into the space. As I space travel music. You could, as you leave the atmosphere, you turn around to look outside, and you can see the skull. You're home for the last 50 years from waking. You've never had a home other than your pod, but if you could call any place a home, this one would have been it. As you leave, the skull then turns into a clear sphere, and once you leave the atmosphere, the scarf, almost as if a blow in the wind, kind of unravels it from his neck and blows out of the back hatch through the wall that closed the door and heads back towards the planet. And then the driver just was like, oh, I must fell asleep. Wait, who are you?
You came to pick me up.
I did?
Yes.
Roll me a charm check.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Have an 18.
Yeah, as you kind of exude your creepy charm towards him, he's like, where are you headed? Okay.
Britonia.
Yes, Britannia. He checks his notes. He's like, "Oh, what do you look at that? That's my next stop, anyways." All right, I guess since you're here, we might as well go. I don't know. I guess I fell asleep and didn't realize you were on. That was my fault. We'll have to deal with that when we get to Britannia. So, Anyway, it'd be a shame to just chuck you out into space.
It is
so.
completely.
So yeah, all right,
It is
we'll go.
completely fine.
Wait, you want to be checked out into space? You're fine with that? Okay.
No, I say it's completely fine in terms of you falling asleep.
Oh. Okay, I guess there's not really much to crash into when we're flying through space, except, flying straight into a planet, but which it seems like I almost did. I don't know. I don't know what that bubble is. I don't know. Well, I'm glad we avoided it, so. To Britannia! And, as you start flying away, in your head you just hear a tiny little chuckle that's barely heard. As I think, even though we have a half hour left, I think we're going to end it there because I think that's a good time for the backstory thing to be done. Yay, that was fun!
Woo.
I'm so glad we got to do that. Schoolie gave me the idea while we were playing games. He's like, we should have some backstory, like, stuff. And I'm like, yeah, we should. That'd be fun. I need to outro. There we go. But yeah, thank you so much for joining, guys. It was good to see you run with this idea. It was good. It was fun. I'm planning on doing it with Sean and Edward as well. If not, like for sure with Sean, maybe the week after. But next week, since everyone is going to be here, we're going to continue with the battle that was supposed to happen. And so, yeah, we're going to get to do that. And then if Sean and River can't make it, or if one of them can't make it, we can do more backstory stuff with them as well. So like next week, or not next week, the week after, if Edward can't make it, we will be doing Sean's backstory, as well as River's backstory when he was on Britannia. Because you're about to show up there, that'll be neat.
That Echo gets up into in Britannia.
Yeah. We got to see how you met with Navi, which that was an interesting find. The fact that I forgot she had telepath. So she could actually like.
Oh talk. Yeah, she had telekinetic, telepath, and what's the other one? And underdog, yeah. But underdog is
not for
a thing
something
unless.
Yeah, it's an edge required thing. So like, I think if you take the underdog edge, it increases all your base stats by 1, via like under mods or something like that. But then they can't evolve, so it kind of sucks. Unless it's like Beedrill or something that doesn't, like, I think Butterfree also has Underdog, which is kind of neat. But both of them can also Mega Evolve, which I thought was cool because Mega Evolution doesn't count as an evolution. It counts as a form change because they go back to their original form after using after the fight, So it's like they don't stay after the fight as a Mega Evolution Pokemon,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's like, cool.
I'm not gonna pick Underdog. I'm getting Navi up to Gardevoir.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the plan.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like, if you don't pick it, then you can get a Gardevoir. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining. Yeah, we will be back next week for some battling. I got an interesting fight going on. We got that swarm of bats that we got to take care of, and I have quite a few in this, so they're going to have to... I mean, obviously they won't fight them all at once. I'm going to have them kind of spread out, but that way they'll have to save the townsfolk and become heroes. No, just kidding. Spoilers! No, just kidding. But yes, so many shiny ones, yes, including ones that I actually rolled shiny. So other than I will say, River, other than the 5 that were gifted sub shinies, I actually rolled 2 additional shinies. So there's 7 in the next round. In the next one.
7 shinies?
7 shinies, all different Pokemon. Well, 2 of them are the same, but most of the other ones are all by themselves. So, yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah, but I won't spoil that. I'll save that for next week. If you'd like to go check out past stuff that I've done, you can go to my YouTube. I did have a past, because we did a campaign 1 of of PTU Space Odyssey. I didn't call it Space Odyssey. It's just called Pokemon in Space or whatever. I don't remember. But I have about it's like I think 7 episodes on YouTube, and I think all 21 are on that we managed to get up to are highlighted on Twitch here. So if you want to see me if you want to see me streaming that with my cousin Sean, my cousin's boyfriend, and their friend as well, to see get some crazy ideas with that. They started on the Vanguard terminal in that one, made their way to Earth, got captured by a group that you guys haven't met yet. And then they went to Zorokoro, which is essentially another Earth, but with a more advanced, like a more sci-fi feel to it. So a more space advanced, space-worthy Earth. So yeah. Anyway, hydrate. I didn't have water. Well, I had water over here, so I did do that, but I don't have any water on me right now. I guess there's some in here again. Oh, it smells like honey in there. Oof. Lurking while working. Nice. How you doing? But yes, unfortunately, we won't be going for the last 20 minutes. But that's okay. We could save it for next time. And then, yeah, so... well, let's see if there's anyone live right now that I can go raid. Why not? If there's anyone live right now. Critical Role's doing their tabletop RPG. One Shot Questers doing Dungeons and Dragons. I think, let's double check. Let's just click into that quick. Okay, so they're not doing, oh shit, I know the commercials. I was gonna say, if it was, Baldur's Gate 3, in case Edward was watching, maybe I wouldn't get into that, but yeah, they're just kind of doing their thing. So let's go raid One Shot Questers, why not? There we go. Yay, okay, it worked. So, if you guys like to see this and you want to see when I go live next time, go ahead and give me a follow. You'll see when I go live and all that stuff. I post all the time on Twitter and the Discords, so you can see when I go live on there as well. I just really like it when you guys hang out, because it's so much fun to see you guys in chat. See you guys do all this stuff that change our games. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. This has been Immersion Diversion. Or this has been Roll for Immersion, and we roll the immersion for you. See ya. Bye, guys. Oh, I got it. Oh, my alarm went off again. Alright. Bye. We're going.